Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Dum Yinzers. This is episode 187. 187, Mike. 187.
Oh, we all know what that means.
Death, murder, kill. Death, murder, kill.
We have a murder, death, kill.
It is 187. What's going on, brother?
Oh, I'm living the dream today.
And you know today is hump day because...
No, I said hump everything. What? Too much.
That always puts me in the mood. Oh,
yeah.
You know I need the mood. Mike, I need the mood today, and I'm going to tell you why.
Oh, God.
You have a pack or two of edibles here at the studio up in the cupboard. And last night I was going through some things. I thought, you know what? I'm going to try one of these things. So I ate one, and then I ate another one. And you know what? I felt fine, nothing, until I went and sat down on the couch and started watching a little TV. And I closed my eyes, and I knew I still had to get up and do some things. So about, I don't know, 20 minutes after laying there, my feet totally felt like they were floating. And I had to get up still and do something. So I mean, yes, you could definitely tell the effects of these things. There's no two ways about it. I was gonna sit there and just eat them like candy, but you know what? I thought how fucked up I would have been if I would have did that. So I didn't sit there and eat them like Skittles.
But they are so good.
You know, they are good.
They're like the sweet or like they're the sour ones. They are
Well, there was two different kinds that you have up there, and I went with the less sour one. If you could, I mean, one has like the exploding sour thing on the front. That's the one I didn't do. I wanted to spare myself of that, so I tried the ones that weren't the sour ones. And like I say, I mean, they're still a little sour.
Yeah,
but nonetheless, they do the job. And like I said, it took me sitting down, closing my eyes to realize it wasn't going to be easy to get back up before I realized that, they were working well. And
what you need to do next time, because what I'm going to do, you take 2 of the one, 2 of the other.
Okay.
And you're gone.
Well, I noticed sometime after the show, you will take some to take the edge off. And I've seen you sit in the chair and say that feel like you're floating when you go to get up. And I could certainly understand that. And even all the way through this morning, you could still feel it like, you wake up and it kind of feels like your eyes are still like they're, you know what I mean? They're still kind of sleeping.
That's the only bad thing about doing too many of those over the counter ones is that you wake up and it's still coursing through you. You got to get your blood moving, get up and move and like get a shower. Then it like feels like everything's all right. You're back to normal.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at. Like right now, I'm finally getting back to normal. It don't feel like my eyes are pushed back into my head anymore.
That's good. That's good.
But there's a backstory, Mike, on why I did try. I tried these. I never had them before because you know what? I'm gonna tell you the truth. I tried something edible a couple years ago, and it really upset my stomach in a way. So I've always kind of stayed away from those things. And so yesterday I was texting with my mother, my dear sweet mother. And during the conversation, she's a little older now, and she was saying something along the lines that she went to the doctors, and the doctor told her to get a medical marijuana card. And I thought, for fuck's sake, my mom is partying harder than I am.
I love it.
So I said to myself, you know what? I'm doing these. I'm doing these. If I have to eat the whole fucking bag tonight, I am going to eat these fucking edibles.
I love
I'm
it.
not the biggest schlub on the planet that my mom is doing more than I am.
I'm gonna start partying with your mom.
Yeah, right?
She's a lot cooler than you.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've been trying to get you to take these things for a while now, and it took your mother.
Yeah.
So your mother's peer pressuring you, is what you're saying.
That's what I told her. I was like, where the hell has this mother been my whole life? This is why I moved out, because I was afraid of getting caught. You know what I mean?
Now that she's retired, she's like, let's party, yo.
I'm about to move back in.
Right? I keep trying to get my mother to go get her medical marijuana card.
Do you really?
She's like, nah. It's like, okay, keep taking the over-the-counter stuff. We'll get you the real stuff one day.
Yeah, they're basically handing these cards out. I mean,
they are.
A lot of people have zero things wrong with them that they have nothing wrong with them. They all have medical marijuana cards.
Yeah, that's why I like your state. Your state, man, you can go talk to the doctor like, hey, I have back pain. All right, cool. Here you go. Because I'm sorry, this stuff's a lot better than the Vicodin and what was the other one? OxyContin. They were just handing out to people left and right like candy. This stuff has proven that it's not going to do nothing to you.
Right.
It's going to take the pain away, and you're going to feel good. And once that the effects wear off, you're still good. Like you still feel good, but your mind's not cloudy. You're not really Jones, and you're good to go. So yeah,
just the amount of way we've came is far in the ways of marijuana, and it's becoming legal and recreational and medical and this and that. Who would have thought, in the 90s that this would ever happen when we were kids, and there was 20 of us pitching in on a nickel sack to get basically a half a joint that we all fucking had to hit and try to get something off of.
And you have to hide it from everyone.
You have to hide it. It smells.
Yeah. God, man, because I remember like in the 90s they still had like, this is your brain on drugs commercials.
Yeah.
It's like, come on now. And then like the little kid sitting there, his dad finds his weed stuff. Like, where did you learn to do this?
Yeah.
I learned it by watching you, Dad. Now people are like,
Dad.
Okay,
I do remember
learn by watching me here. I got this little rig. I got
spark this motherfucker up, son.
I got this dab. I did this. Let's go, man. Let's do this. And it's
kids
more
these
socially
days
acceptable.
Literally have no idea how good they have it.
I know,
think that they have it terribly. Good Lord, put them back in the 90s and
trying to find some drugs.
Yeah, or just you can't get online to play video games with your friends. There was no internet. Like
life would have been so much better. Like civilization would have peaked in the 90s if we had this internet now. It would have been great. I'd love.
We'd be dead by now.
Drugs, man.
Everybody would be dead by now.
Yeah, because like the music was already good. Imagine like illegal drugs, how much better the music would have been.
Yeah. Could you imagine? Now I can't. Some of my friends would have been able to pull this off, but I can't imagine my mom going through my school jeans and pulling a bag of weed out of my. See what I'm saying? Like that would have been like the most horrible thing ever. Now I am. My mom smoked. My mom's getting weed.
Yeah.
And I don't have any. Where's the justice in this?
Exactly. It's funny growing up. My parents, they told me and my brothers, they're like, we grew up in the 60s. So whatever you guys do, it pales in comparison. Just don't get caught. Don't get caught. Don't let us catch you with the stuff. Do it, but don't get caught. Don't get in trouble.
My parents never had talks with me.
That's all it was. It was just like an understanding. Don't get caught. You get caught, you're gonna get in trouble. You don't get caught. We didn't see it. Didn't happen. No one got hurt.
It was all uncomfortable business. Anytime that anything came up that it was something that I needed to talk to my parents about, we just didn't talk about it and kind of went on and just hoped that it was going to be okay.
And that has not affected you yet later in life, has it? No.
The people that I'm most I don't know. I can't say kind of irritated. I think the most people that I'm going to be irritated with are. Okay, you know how you get out into the real world, you get out of school, you turn 21, and then everybody all of a sudden becomes an alcohol expert. Oh, I drank the so-and-so, it has this amount of alcohol. Everybody's a connoisseur all of a sudden. You're at work and the lady at work, oh, my favorite drink is if people could do this without being so fucking goofy and everybody has to be a connoisseur and everybody got to know it. Can't you just fucking enjoy? That's what it's going to come down to. And it's going to get annoying, just like drinking did. Drinking was fun at first until you get out a little bit more and you're like, oh, fuck, you're annoying. Oh, God. And I that's one thing that I fear is when it gets to that point, it's not going to have, it's going to turn into an annoyance in a sense.
Yeah, because God, man, my buddy, he's really, really into scotch. And I like a good scotch too, but he's not snobby about it. He just, if you ask him about it, he knows a lot into scotch. I'm like, that's cool, but I think you need to just pour me my drink.
Right.
But I know some other people that are just into it attempt, but they're like so pretentious and snobby about it. It's like it's alcohol,
Yes.
it gets you drunk. It's
Right.
gonna take the edge off. Like that's why, like anymore, I am basic when it comes to my alcohol. I'll buy the pre-mixed, as you can see, like the pre-mixed margarita, and just pour it over ice and go. You know,
Yeah.
I'm at that age now where I just want to feel that little buzz,
Mm-hmm.
feel that buzz, and then you have like your beer snobs, like your IPAs and the
Mm-hmm.
craft beers. Yeah, craft beers are good, but give me a basic beer every once in a while. I'm fine, unless it's like Miller Lite, Coors Light, but like that shit's base. That stuff's nasty.
You know, and then these
It
are the
gets the
people.
job done. I'm not going to judge you for it because I used to pound Natty Light like it was going out of style, and I would do every once in a while. I'll do like a good Bud Light. But people who drink that all the time, I understand it's cheap, but come on, man, just
These are the
upgrade just a
people
little.
also, Mike, that's going to be the ones that sit there and tell you, well, this is the best stuff. The stuff that you're smoking is no. Motherfucker,
Oh yeah,
don't fucking tell me. Shut the fuck up. I wish I was
Just
drunk
let
right
me
now
know
and beat
which
you
one
upside your fucking head.
yeah, exactly. Just let me know which one I need during the day to feel uplifted, and what one I
Yeah.
need at night to go to bed. That's all. I would get indica and sativa messed up.
Yeah.
That's what I want, one to get me going through the day, because the ones that you're supposed
The
to use during
sativa
the
gets you
day.
going. And the
Yeah,
indica puts
anytime
you
I
to
have
sleep.
any of those, man, I'm cleaning the house, I'm doing yard work, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Well, when it's indica, I'm like, all right, I'm going to bed.
When I first realized this was going to be a problem is when we got one of these local tobacco shops in town, okay? You know, the
Uh-huh.
ones you used to be able to go get your cigarettes rolled and they had big
Yeah.
machines.
Uh-huh.
Well, they did away with the machines. I guess apparently it was going too good for people and they couldn't, the government couldn't take that. But whenever I started going in there, I started to realize now everybody's a tobacco expert. Do you want
Yes.
the 4th grade? Do you want the small cut? Motherfucker, I want a cigarette. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason I'm
Right?
standing here talking to you is I don't want to spend $10 for a pack of them.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. That was the first sign to me that this was probably going to happen with weed and the marijuana products as they move
Uh-huh.
forward, rolling them out. That right there is going to be the one thing I know that's going to piss me off, because that's the one thing that pissed me off with, like I said,
Yeah.
alcohol. You're going through your 20s and everybody's a fucking alcohol expert, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean?
When you're 20, you've had like 4 different types of alcohols. And
Exactly. And that's going to be the
you know
case.
everything.
And that's going to be the case.
You know what you like at that time. You don't know like what's really good and what's not.
And that's the case. It's going to be the same exact thing with weed. Now it's going to be a whole new thing to the population, to the whole population, and then everybody's going to be doing it. Now everyone's going to be an expert, and
yeah,
we want to tell everybody about it and tell.
Yeah, I just like I said, man. I just want to know like what gets me going, what puts me to sleep. That's all I want to know. Tell me like what it's gonna taste like, because there's ones that taste like grapefruit.
Right.
Keep that shit away from me. But other ones that taste like, oh, so smooth and good. Yeah, give me that. Give me more of that. Just let me know what it tastes like and what it's going to do to me. It's going to make me energetic or sleepy. That's all I want to know.
And then you go into the dispensary and and I haven't been into one.
Mm-hmm.
I've had things from them, but I've never been into one myself. And I could just imagine those people being annoying like that in a way too, where they're going to want to kind of over-explain everything.
Yeah.
Now this one here it's going to make you go to sleep, a little bit faster than this one. Just give me my fucking weed, man. Come on.
Just give me like we did not have this shit growing up in the corner, man. You got like what do you? Hey man, I need a dime back. All right, this is what I got. This is what you're smoking. There is no, it's this, or this. It's like, boom, here you go.
Back when your education meant something to you and you were in school focusing on schoolwork, I was doing this. Back the fuck off.
Right? But I do, I do appreciate the people who do have like that deep knowledge of like, whatever it be, like cigars or tobacco pipes. Scotches and weed, like, yeah, okay, you took the time to learn all that. That's cool, but not everyone wants to hear it.
Exactly.
If I'm in the mood, yeah, tell me about it. Educate me. I want to hear it. Other times I'm like, give me my drink, give me my painkillers. That's all I want.
Well, here's the thing: we have the internet, and if I want to know anything about anything, including weed, I will simply push one button and be there in 2 seconds and find out what I have to find. I'm not going to come to you in a different location to ask your advice. Maybe, just maybe there might be a question, but you know what? Most of the time, chances are there's not. I'm going to find everything out I need to find out before I go get what I'm going to get, and I'll be just fine.
That's there's the app. What is it? Leafy. You just type it in, and it will tell you everything you ever wanted to know about that certain strand.
Yeah.
That's all you need. You don't need the dude at the dispensary. You just need that dude to like, hey, I want that one. Go get it for me, please.
I
Thanks, boss.
appreciate that he knows what he's talking about.
Yes.
I'm
Yes, 'cause
glad because a lot of places
Yeah.
you go, you don't get good help. Just say you go to Lowe's and you need some advice. And I'm lying. Lowe's has actually got really good people, but there are places you go and you ask about a product or an item or where it's at even, and nobody can tell you.
Yeah, like general retail stores, because everyone's just thrown in. Like, you're working everywhere. You're just gonna know where the stuff is. Forget learning the product.
Yeah.
So places like that, yeah, when you go in, like, sweet, this is awesome to hear about it. You want someone in that specialty shop to know what they're talking about.
Absolutely.
Like that's going to be good though for like people like maybe like your mom who doesn't know what all this new stuff is. Those people are going to be able to educate her. And oh God, we need to have your mom on, talk about her experience getting to the dispensary.
I'll tell you what, I would consider, but I did. The word got back to me that she caught last Friday's show when my son was on, and she might be a little scared to come on in the future. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't blame her.
Oh boy, where are we at? What is today? Today is Wednesday, Hump Day, everybody. Mike, the elections are finally over, as far as I know.
They're over, but we're still counting.
They're still counting. We obviously are right here on the show today. We're not flying our way down to DC to do senator things. We you have us for another couple of years at least, because
at least 6 years.
Run for president here in 2 years, and we'll try to get in that. And so we'll see what we can do.
I'll be president. You be vice president.
You ain't even old enough. What are you, 25? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I wish I was 25. I had my whole life ahead of me at 25.
You're right. Michael, let's see. You know what? Let's talk a little Steelers. I got some scoop from yesterday. The Steelers, they're flexing the Steelers schedule.
Yes.
The Steelers are so bad. And the offense and the defense and the team is just so bad. They plucked us. They plucked us from the Week 11 Sunday Night Football game, and they replaced us with the Chargers and the Chiefs at the Chargers, and we get bumped down our game against the Bengals to a 425. Mike, it's going to be a 425 game, Week 11 against the Bengals.
I will gladly take the 425 because I can actually watch the game and get some sleep before work.
I wish this week was a primetime game because we got Andy Dalton.
Yeah, it's a guaranteed win for everyone plays against. It's like I can see why they. Actually, I can't see why they had the Steelers and the Bengals in a primetime game. Yes, it's a division game. You saw how bad Pittsburgh was. Even with Ben, they struggled to win. What did they think? Replacing him with a rookie or someone off the street, a low-level free agent, was going to make them an attractive team to play against, like a team that went to the Super Bowl? No, it was stupid to make us that.
In the Steelers' defense, they have a lot of bad teams playing primetime this year. I've seen.
That's true.
I've seen the Broncos play at least a dozen times.
Yeah, well, everyone plays a Thursday night game, so
yeah. So you know what? I think it's going to turn around. I tell you what, I'm going to give you my predictions a little bit later. I think we're going to talk some predictions. I'm going to tell you what the Steelers are going to do for the rest of the year, and I'm going to tell you why this flex schedule made a mistake. Also, Mike, I think a sign that you're not doing too good, and a sign that you might want to consider making changes, opposed to Tomlin still not wanting to make changes, is a sign that they take you off of a primetime game. Now, you made a good point that this team is no good. They shouldn't be on primetime anyway, perhaps. But you know what? They are the Steelers. Just like if the Yankees aren't good, you still get to see the uniform. You still get to see. It's a thing. It's at Acrisure Stadium that week, I'm pretty sure. The crowd, the towels.
Yep.
That's good for television. But I would seriously consider, if things are that bad, maybe looking elsewhere. And that being said, Mike, what do you think about the Frank Reich being floated out there with the Steelers offensive coordinator position?
Just as offensive coordinator, sure, fine.
Yeah, but, absolutely.
Do you want to change that in midseason? Is he going to come in and use Canada's playbook? Is he going to come in and try and instill a new offense in the middle of the season where your offense
is any worse struggling? Though? You know what I mean?
like your terminology changes and everything. It usually takes a whole offseason to implement a new offense.
Let's say this: if it gets worse, then that's a good thing because that helps their draft picks.
Yes.
If it gets better, it's okay because it gets better. I don't think that it could hurt at all by making that offensive coordinator change. And then you have all next season with your new team, your new draft picks, everybody coming, and you could start kind of fresh.
Like if he would come in and just like, all right, here's the playbook, here's the terminology. Take out the one plays that you think suck, and if you're going to design plays, use this terminology just to get us through the season. Because you don't want to change. If this whole season now is all about Kenny Pickett making him comfortable, you don't want to have him learn a whole new offense in a week.
Right.
So, like, I have no problem, like, bringing him in, but it's going to be, look, this is how we're going to do it just this season. We're going to have to fight, soldier through, and then boom, carry on to the next season. Do what you need to do with the offense. I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with people saying just fire Tomlin and bring him in as the head coach when this guy has had his success pales in comparison to Tomlin's success.
That's crazy. I
heard a local.
Well, you know what? I am not surprised. I'm seeing that because that's just what people do around here.
Yeah, well, one losing season, you want to get rid of them. Brilliant Pittsburgh.
That's like I said. That's what you're going to find on the social media. However, we know that's not going to happen. I do know that Frank Reich was up there with the Philadelphia Eagles when they won the Super Bowl, which is pretty amazing because the lowly Eagles have never won a Super Bowl, and they were playing the Patriots. They probably shouldn't have won. Yeah. But you know what? He, along the other coaches and the players in Philadelphia, found a way to win a Super Bowl. I don't think that that's anywhere in the near sight, anywhere in the far sight for Matt Canada. And like I said, if you bring Reich in and things stay bad or get worse, it goes to your advantage. If things get better, you know what? Things are getting better. So at some point, somehow we have to do something. Or we're going to wait till this guy who has a pretty decent resume, he knows the game. Obviously, he's been in the league forever. I can't possibly see this being a terrible thing if in fact the Steelers would go ahead and pull the trigger and make this move.
Yeah, it all depends on, like, I'm pulling it up now. I'm going to take a look at their rankings offensive. Hold on. There we go. Take a look at this here. Who am I looking for? The Colts. Colts offensive rankings.
Ooh. They got to be better than us. They've got to be.
Not that much bad. Let's see. Let's take a look at rushing. Here we are. Colts are 28th in rushing. Pittsburgh's 29th in rushing.
Do you know,
like
Mike,
a lot of these things, they're not that much better in a lot of stat categories.
But I think if you had Canada being the offensive coordinator in Indianapolis, they would be considerably worse.
Is it coordinator or is it the players? No, I'm looking at like pass attempts, pass yards, completions. Yeah, they're better there, but the run game is not that much better. So is it the
check
line?
This interesting statistic real quick. Let me cut in. The Steelers are one of just 3 teams without a run of at least 20 yards this season. Like, we are one of 3 teams who haven't had a run of 20 yards.
Well, when your running back decides to gain weight instead of slim down to get faster for the game.
But the other running back, I mean, he's had potential. I've seen him bust through the line. He's had some like yard gains.
Yeah, he had some longer runs, but he's an undrafted rookie free agent, not a first-round draft pick.
And another thing
and speaking of, I don't know if you have this on here, there might be a change in the running back depth chart.
I think that I did see that they're going to be carrying the load. He's going to be carrying the load this week.
Tomlin said it could be a possibility that Jaylen Warren will get more opportunities than Najee, because that's the way it's been going. The production, the way people have been playing.
He's gonna make changes in small pieces. I guess that's a good place to start.
Yeah, start there, and there's not much you really can do. You're rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic at this point through this season. You're just going to see what works and what doesn't work. That's what you're going to have to do.
Again, you're going to be blown away. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to look deep into my magic ball, and I'm going to tell you what's going to happen this season. But let's continue on.
Okay.
Mike, the Saints coach says the blowout loss to the Ravens won't lead to another quarterback change. So luckily for us, we get Andy Dalton. We get Scott Farkas this week, man.
All right. I'd rather face him than Jameis.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. Jameis has been on the bench, but a lot of times you get these guys that come off the bench. They always end up hurting Steelers for whatever reason. Backups, new guys, rookies. Somebody's grandmother, whoever it is, they come in and tend to have a really productive game against the Steelers.
Yeah.
And this is even when we have a good team. I don't get it. I don't know why. So yes, send us the Red Rocket and we'll beat them. You know what I mean?
If we can't beat Andy Dalton, I like everyone. People saying, "Oh, this is such a winnable game for Pittsburgh. The Saints are a terrible team." Have you seen the Steelers play?
Yeah.
They're not that much better. I don't get this idea like, oh, this is a must-win game. They should win this one. They definitely win this game. There's no excuse for it. Yeah, there is. This team is bad. These players are not that good for the most part. You have good players here and there, but overall, they're not that good. And the Saints are the same. They have some good players here and there. Overall, not that good. This is two bad teams playing. Pittsburgh's what? We have 2 wins. The Saints have 3.
I'm not sure. Do they have 3?
It's bad. Yeah, they're 3-6. We're 2-6. Why are Steeler fans saying we should win? Why? Because we had the bye week.
I'm going to tell you.
They had the short week.
Again, that's all going to come with my magic ball.
Okay. I'm just.
The Steelers actually jumped, Mike. They jumped up to 25 last week during the bye. We got better. We got better as we took the week off. Imagine what we'd do if we took the rest of the season off.
We'd be number 1 in the power rankings.
One other note I had, you got one thing that I did, I noticed, but I didn't think to talk about. The last Pittsburgh touchdown that was thrown was by Chase Claypool, who's not even on the team anymore.
Yes.
So we got to consider that. We haven't had a passing touchdown for a couple weeks by somebody other than Chase Claypool.
Great draft pick.
You can't go there after 16 quarters of play. That's crazy. You're crazy. Crazy man. You are.
I forgot. Kenny Pickett is the greatest draft pick of all time. Got
to wait more than 16 quarters to make that call.
Nothing wrong this year. Everything is perfect.
Steve Sims says, I got to capitalize on those opportunities, meaning too, coming back to his increased workload in his first start for the Steelers. He's going to be getting increased workload. Him along with the running back that I think they're both going to get considerable, a lot more playing time. And we're going to get a chance to see Sims, which I'm excited about. Throw him in the slot and see what he could do with that speed. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see what he could do. It's going to be Sims, Pickens, and Deontay Johnson, I think, for their top 3, if I'm not mistaken, and not in that order, but those are the guys, correct?
Yeah, it's going to be Deontay and George on the outsides, Sims in the middle, along with Freiermuth at the tight end position. People always say, "Oh, so and so is a good returner." Imagine getting them in open space in the slot or on screens and stuff. Very rarely does it work out. Unless you're like a Devin Hester type talent, one of the greatest returner, the greatest kickoff returner punt returner of all time. Like I get kind of worried when like the return specialist all of a sudden becomes your slot receiver. But hey, this turning over a new leaf for me. It's all about growth and development for the team. So if he comes in and is able to be that slot receiver, awesome.
Well, that's what happens. You get the guy from special teams that starts to play well or is needed to fill in on offense or defense, and they come in and play really well, and then you have to find a new guy to be the returner.
Yeah, because you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose an every down player.
I believe that would happen to Antonio Brown and other big names.
Yeah, he started out 6th-round pick. He was a kick returner.
I remember. I could remember him returning kicks
in the Super Bowl against Green Bay.
Yeah.
Imagine if we had AB at AB's full power in that Super Bowl.
Yeah,
or a strong safety, or a Hall of Fame strong safety who can cover a fucking tight end.
Yeah.
But that's okay. He went like this, so it's all forgiven.
Who did that?
Palomalu. He got burnt every play, and then he did his little.
Oh, for fun! You can't come.
He got burnt every single play, and then that defense let us down. Ben Roethlisberger won that Super Bowl, and the defense lost it.
Only you.
Only me.
Down on the best safety that played the game.
I'm not making fun of Ed Reed. Ed Reed would have covered that tight end in the Super Bowl.
No, he wouldn't have.
It pissed me off. Troy. Oh, he was. Oh,
A
it's
couple
the only time.
best.
That's the only game I hated Troy in. It's still salty.
You know what? No, tonight, Mike. Everybody, Penguins are back in action. They're on their way down to DC. They get to play the Washington Capitals tonight. Back in action. See if we could break this 7-game losing streak, Mike.
We need something to give here.
We need something. We need a win in Pittsburgh, for fuck's sake. I don't care who it is.
A win. You know, hey, Washington's
the pickleball team. I don't care.
Washington 6-6-2, Pittsburgh 4-6-2. Well, you know, when those two teams meet, like, you know, look out. You know, literally throw the records out the window when these two teams meet.
Yeah,
hopefully this season, because I've never seen, like, in the Crosby Ovechkin era, like, have they ever been this bad outside of like the first year that they were each guy played?
Not.
It was like the first 2 years maybe they were bad. After that, it's been nothing but these two teams fighting for the Stanley Cup. You know, who's going to make it out of the second round? Who's going to go to the Cup? Who's going to win the division?
It's just crazy because we just talked about this in football.
These two teams down at the bottom.
We just said that last week in football with the Patriots-Colts game used to be a headliner. Used to be big stuff. This is what they talked about all week. Last week, you know, you couldn't pay me to sit down in front of the television and watch the Patriots and the Colts game. You know,
look at the Metro. We have New Jersey, then the Islanders, then Carolina as your top three, then Philly, the Rangers, Washington, Pittsburgh, Columbus taking up the rear. Usually your top teams are the Penguins, Caps, Rangers, Flyers, and then everyone else. This is all fucked up, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
The feng shui does not work for me right now.
Yeah. Let's dribble. We'll dribble on over to basketball, Mike. Brittany Griner, she's been moved to the Russian penal colony in the Russian court system. I must be the only person that still feels bad. Well, not myself, but there's a lot of people that do. I can't help but watch this person get taken to the hard labor section of the Russian prison system to do hard labor for the next 9 years. I can't understand. I can understand that. I hate seeing it. I hate seeing it. I don't know. It's a medicine. It's a medicine that we have in America. How you could be prescribed for something. Yes, it's illegal in your country, but again, it's a prescribed medication. If you need it, you can't tell somebody to stop taking their medication, but apparently they can, and they are sending her to hard labor. It sucks.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Of course, that's a tough guy answer. But seriously,
no. I remember you remember the story when we were in middle school, high school range. The kid over in Singapore who broke the law and got caned.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. When you're in that country, you have to follow their laws or you face their consequences. I have no sympathy for anyone who does stuff like that. It's like when reporters go into these hostile countries, like there's travel advisories. Don't do this. Boom, then you get beheaded. That's on you.
Right. That's right. It is on them.
You made these personal choices.
They're trying to work. They're trying to make money like everybody else, and this is their field.
But you fucked up. You fucked up and got
take
caught.
Your medicine. That's terrible. Yeah. The guy that spray painted things, that's vandalism. Yes, I think that,
you still broke the law in their country, in people in foreign countries. You have to obey their laws or you suffer the consequences. I have no sympathy for anyone who does something against a country's laws.
Nah, well, there you go, everybody. You make your own decision. No, seriously, make your own opinion. You know where I stand. You know where Mike stands. I just think it sucks, man. Finally, in basketball, Kyrie Irving,
does suck.
Kyrie Irving has reported he may never play in the NBA again. Is this a little bit out of context to you?
No. The Knicks are private.
What did he say? That deserves for him to never play in his what he does as a job ever again. What was said that
his anti-Semitism?
I please give me quote because I
read it. Kyrie Irving quotes. It's all out there.
I read it and there was nothing. It was referring to
yes,
the possibility.
He's promoting this, documentary or movie that is false, full of anti-Semitism tropes that are that have been used against the Jewish community for centuries, and that led to these tropes that were used and said during the Holocaust when 3 million of them were unjustly murdered. So the New York Knicks, a private institution, The NBA, a private institution, said, no, we don't want to associate with that. And if you want to come back and play, this is what we want done. We are your employer. For you to be employed by us, you have to follow these steps, do these steps. And if you don't do them, you can't work here no more. Isn't that what, capitalists love?
I'm going to tell you
this the free hand of the market telling you, look, if you want to play here, you have to follow our rules. If you don't, go work somewhere else.
I hope he tells them to fuck off. I hope he takes his money, flashes it in front of their face, and tells them to go suck a dick. I just think that people
the NBA would be like, fine, we have so many more talented people than you. We don't care. He's nothing.
And he would say, I don't care because I already earned all my money from you. So suck
that's
a
fine.
dick.
They'd be like, that's fine, fair enough. Bye. See ya. You're not getting the rest of the money that's in your contract because you're no longer playing with us. Your contract's not terminated, null and void.
I just think, listen, man.
He's suffering the consequences for his actions.
But these people, they go on and they still continue to beat their wives and everything else. And you know what? This is socially acceptable for some reason. And these people could come back into the lineup with very little to no punishment under bad situations.
Where's the last domestic violence case in the NBA?
I will dig it up over tonight and tomorrow. We'll talk about it more tomorrow. Finishing up my sports, Mike, I am going to look into my crystal ball.
Oh, God. I can't wait for this one.
Crystal ball. Here it comes.
Why does it feel like you're touching my man boobs?
There we go. There we are. Yep, let me take a look. See? This is what's going to happen. This is how the rest of the Steelers season is going to play. I'm going to tell you right now. You need not go anywhere else for your information. I'm going to tell you right now. So
I don't. This is why I'm always wrong on my picks.
This is what's going to happen. This Sunday, this game between the Steelers and the Saints will, mark my words, Mike, it will go to overtime. This game will go to overtime against the Saints, between the Saints and the Steelers. The Steelers will win this game. The Steelers have, after that, they have 8 games left. They have the Falcons, they have the Colts, they have the Browns, they have a bunch of winnable teams. So after this overtime win, I'm going to say somewhere right around 13-13, they go to overtime. Beyond that, I don't know, maybe 19-13, 16-13, but the Steelers will win in overtime this week against the Saints. Then they move on. They're going to win. They're going to win more games. They're going to get better. You have TJ Watt back. You have new guys in position. You have people threatening offensive coordinator jobs because there's another guy out there who's a lot who was more desirable. I think you were going to start to see things change this week. It's going to change little by little. It might not be the greatest thing to start. You're going to see maybe a touchdown pass by Pickett and then maybe something else. But it's like I said, every week is going to get a little bit better. This team will win more than 5 games. And I was alive. Matter of fact, I was a senior in high school whenever the Steelers did this. They were 3-4 in their 95 season. The year they went to their first Super Bowl after 25 years. This is going to be similar. This is going to be real similar. They're going to start winning games. They're going to win games. They're going to pick up a little momentum. And people, even the fans, are going to start talking playoffs, which I think is crazy. We're not going to the Super Bowl this year. No. But we are going to have a productive, decent second half of the season. The level of opponents has definitely dropped. You went from some of the top teams in the league to some of the bottom teams in the league. I think by default you have to win. Something you have to. And starts this week, Mike. Overtime win over the Saints. A bunch of wins the rest of the way. They end out with a respectable losing season. And then we go from there. That, Mike, is what is going to happen the rest of the season.
With that respectable losing seasons, you will have people in the media complaining that they won too many games and they did not tank for a good draft pick.
Hey, I'll tell you,
which I find funny because I thought the point of the games were to win, but
it's not going to go. Listen, one side of the coin that wants that draft pick so bad, we're not going to get it. You have the other side of the coin that wants to have a winning season. We're not going to get it. We're going to land somewhere in the middle, unfortunately, because that's just what happens to Pittsburgh sports teams.
Yeah,
it's not going to get good to where it's really good, or it's not going to get bad to where we could actually take advantage of it. I believe it's going to screw us in the long run. But for the people that sit in front of their television game for the next 9 weeks, I think they're going to give us a better product to watch.
And then you have like that segment of people saying, "Oh, just don't play TJ Watt." Like you people want him to play.
You have more than half a season. You can't make. You know what I mean? That's crazy. People, cried when he just sat out 2 games 2 years ago. That's all we need is him sitting out, and then people saying, "Well, why didn't TJ?" He needs to get in there. He's a football player. He needs to get in there
He
and
needs
make
to earn
football
that
plays.
paycheck.
Absolutely, like everybody else.
Don't be a freeloader. They all complain about freeloading people, and then TJ Watt does it. It's okay.
Yes,
but no. God, I would love for that to be true, for them to turn it around, and then boom, they just rattle off some wins here. But like teams are looking at the Steelers too, like, hey, this should be an easy win for us. We should look at them. They're 2-6. They're bumbling. They can't run. They can't pass. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. So all these other teams are looking at the Steelers the same way that we tend to look at like the Saints or the Browns or the Falcons are coming along nicely. So they're not a cupcake anymore. Carolina's Carolina, but we're kind of like in that team. All Carolina, Pittsburgh. So like Carolina and Pittsburgh and the Carolina and the Saints should be competitive games just because how bad both teams are in the standings.
Absolutely. Like I said, I think it's going to be a good game.
But we are getting TJ Watt back, and we saw how this defense played last year and this year with him. Granted, it was only one game with him, but they were lights out. This is a completely different
defense. Had the best defense in the league for one game.
Yeah. Hey. It's like a participation trophy right there. Right. But he should theoretically, getting back someone making that much money that you assume is the best edge rusher in football, the best outside linebacker in football, is going to make that team and that defense so much better. Don't forget, we're also getting Kazee back. And they are saying, like, when he's healthy, guess what? They're going to go to a 3 safety set. They're going to run out 3 safeties. Now, does that mean who's coming off the field now? We're taking another corner off the field because, Millette's coming along, Pierre's coming along. Do you want to take those guys off the field, or are we going to take a linebacker off the field? Or are we finally going to see Robert Spillane on the bench, and is Kazee going to go down in low in that spot, or are we going to put Edmonds down in there? So I kind of want to see how that defense is going to go in the second half. And, if we put Kazee and Minka deep and bring Edmonds down in the box, get rid of Spillane, that defense is rounding into a nice little defense right there, because TJ's going to come back. You think if TJ's coming back, that the rest of that front 7 should produce a lot better because more focus is going to go to him. But my big concern is that offense. Now in 95, we had a much better offensive line. The receivers weren't as good, but they were more consistent than what we have. We have a better Eric Green was the tight end then?
Mark Bruner.
Okay, Mark. Yeah, you're right. So Frymuth's a big upgrade over Mark Bruner. At least in the passing game, Bruner was a better run blocker.
Bruner was productive.
He was productive. If we actually threw to the tight end at that area, he probably would have been in like a top 5 tight end of his time. He had the ability. Running backs, I give to the 95 team, and quarterback, I give to the 95 team. Just because we haven't seen the amount of production from those 3, from Jalen Warren, Najee, or Kenny Pickett, out of like we saw it at Neil O'Donnell, Bam Morris, and Eric Pegram.
See, I would ultimately think that, like you said, we really haven't seen too much of these young guys. But, Bam Morris wasn't anything great. Eric Pegram wasn't anything great. These guys had a big season. These guys went on to be nothings after that season and after they left the town. And also the quarterback. I mean, these guys were a bunch of overachieving average football players. And I think that these guys potentially have the potential to be that, at least, maybe.
You would hope, but so far,
but like
so far we haven't seen it.
But things are coming around. Like you said, Kazee, you got the corner. Hopefully he plays, the guy that just come over from Washington. You got Watt coming back. So things are changing. Things are happening. And like I said, I don't want to always keep coming back to the bye week, but the bye week did give a chance for people to get healthy, gave people a chance to maybe sit down, like Kenny said, watch film together, become a little bit more cohesive with one another. I think you're going to see a better Steelers team this week. And like I said, maybe it's not going to be a lot better. They're not going to blow anybody out by any means, but it's going to start as something simple as an overtime win, which that's where that season started when they were 3-4. Their next win was against the Chicago Bears team. It was either 34-31 or 30, something along that line. We did beat Chicago in overtime, and that started the streak. And then we ended out winning 7 or 8 games in a row before we lose to Green Bay to finish the season that year. So I think that something similar to that could happen this year. It's a very similar team. I just feel that this team isn't heading in the same direction as that team. I felt that the team in the mid-'90s, they started in 92, and every year they got a little bit better, and they worked their way to a Super Bowl. I don't feel that this team has the same kind of progress going for them. but I think that you're going to see something similar to what happened in '95.
Like I hope you're right, because like I said, my whole thing this second half of the year is to see that the growth of players throughout the year. So if they do end up, progressing the way we want them to, they should pick up more wins along the way than what I'm projecting.
Right.
I'm thinking we're going to win 5 overall. We're only going to win 3 more out of this. I kind of hope we do because I want that better draft pick. But
I think we're going to win 7. I think we're going to win 5 games out of these last 9. Is that what it would be?
Yeah, finish 7 and 10.
I think they're going to finish. That
wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad for the way this team played.
No, and that's winning just one game over 500. And I wouldn't be I wouldn't hesitate to maybe say they might win that eighth game. I think it's going to be not, like I said, not considerably different in the fact of the way they're performing. They're not going to come out and be the Bills by any chance, but I do think you are going to see a better Steeler team. Just again, like I said, because you're not playing Philadelphia, you're not playing the Bills, you're not playing the Dolphins. And if things get bad or worse during playing the worst teams, the teams more toward the bottom, then you got bigger problems than you know. Yeah. So hopefully, for the sake of this team, things could get a little bit better for us.
Because we've seen flashes on offense. We've seen those good runs followed up by good runs, good pass plays, but followed up by good pass plays, mixing in run and pass. We've seen it. It just hasn't been consistent. It hasn't been called consistently, and it hasn't been executed consistently.
Right.
And that's the problem right there, is just consistency. Because Pickett has made plays that make you go, "Oh my God, could this be the guy?" Then he's also making plays like, "Ugh, why did we get him?" Same thing with Najee. Same thing with the line. It just needs to be more consistent, but I just don't know if they have that overall talent to be more consistent. It's easy to say you have to be consistent, but do you have the ability to match that level play in, play out? And at that point, that's not coaching, that's just ability at that point.
You got a running back who was the number 1 guy in Alabama. He was in the national championship. You got, a quarterback. He was in the Heisman Trophy hunt. TJ Watt, who's arguably the best defensive player in the league.
Yeah.
Pickens, who is a freak, and you've seen some of the things that he could do. I just think it's all the matter of getting everybody together on the same page and figuring out what the hell you got to do. It's not going to be making these 4-yard passes. It's not going to be making passes 3 yards ahead of the sticks when you have to get 11 yards. There's things that need to change that goes from top to bottom. If you're going to sit here and pick and point, I think that's and for someone to do that would be a bit sophomoric. I think you have to dig into it and see that these things can get better, but this is what they have to do. So hopefully, Mike, we have 9 games, more than half a season. Everyone's already thrown this season away. I refuse to do that. If you could lose 6 games out of 8, I believe that you could win 6 games out of 8. So 7 or 8 wins is where I'm at the end of the season. It's not going to be as embarrassing as we believe it's going to be. Now, Mike, with only 13 minutes left in the show, it is time for...
Is it my time? Is it the time? Yes.
In the news, one Powerball winner from Los Angeles wins $2.04 billion with a cash value of $997.6 million. They're getting almost $1 billion in cash, Mike. $1 billion in cash if they take the cash. Wow.
I wish that was me, but congratulations, sir or madam, or they. I tip of the cap. I love it. And remember, this will be the only second time in the past year that a billionaire will be taxed appropriately.
Also, there was a little bit of controversy, Mike. The Powerball did get pushed back.
Yes.
There was a delay.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the reward goes to reward goes to the person in California. So good luck with your $1 billion. Hope your life doesn't deteriorate like everybody else who wins a lot of money.
And if you're worried about that, inbox me. I'll send you my banking info and we'll be good to go.
Tyson CFO John R. Tyson. Now, we talked about him yesterday, Mike, being arrested after being found in somebody's house, stranger's house. Now, get this, it gets even weirder. Tyson CFO John R. Tyson charged after being found asleep in a stranger's bedroom. He was asleep in their bedroom. It wasn't like he was in their house, lingering around. He wasn't robbing them. He wasn't doing anything. He was asleep in a stranger's house. Stranger comes home. They find the CFO of Tyson Chicken in their bed, assed out.
But that dude's lucky he's alive, like we said, man. And then sleeping in my bed, you're lucky, like you didn't get like beat down when that happened. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, has it come out like why he did this? Was he?
It did not. It did not.
Man,
I can't wait for that part of the story.
Oh, I want to see it like a toxicology report.
Yeah,
I want to know what my guy was on, and I don't want to take that. I'll tell you that. I'll keep my gummies.
Scientists' minds blown after discovering an underground ant city, Mike, that was equivalent to the Great Wall of China. I don't know what that means. I think you'd have to scale down, obviously.
Yeah,
but pretty amazing what these little buggers are doing underneath the surface of our planet, isn't it?
Like they are so cool. Like when they take the cameras down there in the nature documentaries, like how intricate their societies are.
Yes,
they're mind blowing. Like the structures that they can build. It's awesome. It's awesome.
It
like
really
how
is, man.
Like how can you not like nature? How can you not like this stuff? These little dudettes, they're so fucking cool and amazing.
Yeah, they really are.
They are, and I still get freaked out when I see ants sometimes because I think I'm gonna be shrunken down like in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah,
I'm afraid the little fucker's gonna eat me.
Look, P. Morton, he said, unfortunately, I woke up in a strange house once. I think they gave me a blanket and went to work. Was this in Japan, P? Was this something that happened in Japan? I have to know.
Like I said, man, I've partied hard, but never to wake up in a weird place. So apparently, I have not partied hard.
Yeah, right. Mike, Elon Musk laid off more than 90% of the staff in India. Now only 12 employees remain. 12 employees remain for Twitter in India.
I wonder if, like, or are these some of the employees that he's trying to hire back, realizing, oh shit, I need these people for the task that at hand.
Shit, I'm gonna have to do fucking work if I don't bring these people.
It's like I was reading, like he fired people based on like the amount of code that you produce, like per month or whatever. And if you had like a real high number, you got your job. If you had a low number, you were let go. But people who work in tech and writing codes are like, if you produce a low percentage of code, is because you're writing intricate code for complex problems and solutions. So really you let go the people who were doing the most, like the labor intensive important work,
right,
like for security and shit like that. And so I was like, my man did not think this shit through.
No,
he's running a business like the way I would. We're just gonna fire you.
Oh, look at this. P in Japan in a 4th floor apartment. What the fuck? I must have been dosed. Yeah.
Too much sake.
Too much sake.
Been there, done that.
Let's see. McSalad, Mike, and there was a McDonald's. Now, here's what happened in this story, real quick. The person, they ordered a deluxe double cheeseburger, okay? But they ordered, check this out, extra cheese, extra mustard, extra ketchup, extra pickles, extra mayonnaise, extra tomatoes, extra lettuce for their double cheeseburger deluxe with no bun. No bun. So
gotta cut out the carbs.
So it was basically a salad. They got a salad, but think of that. On your salad, you have extra ketchup, extra mustard, extra mayonnaise, the tomatoes, lettuce. That's not weird because it's kind of salady, but the pickles as well. I mean, that's a mad condiments on a salad of things that you normally wouldn't eat on a salad.
Exactly. That's a bit too much for me. No, it's too much. I was going to try and defend it, but I can't defend it. As a fat guy, I can't defend that.
Yeah, it was.
I'm trying. The taste just isn't there.
Imagine just getting a big. It was questionable buying me a drink bar before I lost time. Yes, I. You know what? Yes, I understand.
Yeah,
the salad sucks. Like I said, could you imagine getting a big fork full of mustard on your? I mean, I like mustard, but I don't know. It's a little much.
That is too much for me.
Excuse me. Car crashes into Pizza Hut's roof and catches fire. Now, I believe that was local somewhere. A guy lost control of his car, and you know what the Pizza Hut roofs look like.
Yeah.
This person somehow projects through the air. I would have loved to have seen this. I think this would be a fucking a viral TikTok video if somebody caught this. But apparently the car right into the roof of Pizza Hut. Look it up. Pull it up real quick. I want you to see this. If you can find a quick picture real quick. Yeah, apparently I think the guy lost control. Maybe he was, I don't know, speeding, drinking, whatever. But the car went airborne into the roof of Pizza Hut, Mike. Catches fire.
Let's see here. Car crash into the Pizza Hut roof, catches fire.
Yes. Does it say? Does it say how it propelled into the roof? How it?
Let's see here. Blah, blah, blah.
It was pretty.
Drivers going 55 to 65 per hour when they went through a stop sign, hit a curb, went airborne, and landed upright against the building.
Wow.
That's insane. I have no still video or no still photography. It's just a video, and I don't feel like playing the video.
Yeah.
Because I am lazy.
Yeah. I hear it.
That's wild. That's wild. Like, I don't know. I've done stupid stuff while driving, but never that stupid.
And finally, hold on, let's catch P real quick. At the McDonald's I worked at in college, Indian chicks would come in and order burgers with no meat. Yeah, see what I mean, P? I just don't. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, I understand. Like, you can't eat. They can't eat cow. You can't eat beef. But so why order it?
Yeah.
Unless you just like the taste of, I don't know, the bun and the condiments. It's weird.
I don't know. Why these people ruin good McDonald's food is beyond me.
Is there anything good at McDonald's?
I love McDonald's.
So do I.
Finally, human-sized bat amazed the world, Mike. There's a bat that's, I can't tell you how tall it was. There was a picture, but it seemed to be roughly about 4 feet tall.
What?
Maybe, yes, a bat. It says, human-sized bat amazed the world. Try that and see what you get.
Human-sized bat in Australia. We'll go with that.
Australian bat.
The gray-headed flying fox. It's 3 feet 3 inches they can stand.
I would like to see. We had Sassy Cassie on the show. I'd like to see her flying the bat around. That would be for good.
Holy
for good
snikes!
show.
Yeah. No, like bats are cool when they're like that big.
Yeah.
But when they're like, that big,
that's a big ass.
And
bat.
they're gonna look like, "Hey, homie, what up? I'm gonna go hug your face."
Yeah.
Nope. I've had it.
And everybody, that was today's
The News. And it's not fair. I want my McDonald's to have what everyone else has.
Damn right. I feel. Well,
you look at some of these items, man, and they're actually kind of sound kind of tasty,
kind of dope. I just seen something the other day that looked awesome, and I can't think of what it was, but I thought, why don't we have that here? That would do great. Mike, why don't you go and tell everybody about the website?
Dumyinzers.com. Head on over there. We have links to everything to Dum Yinzers. Spotify, YouTube, merchandise store, Facebook, Twitter, everything to Dum Yinzers at dumyinzers.com.
And then everybody, please continue to keep checking us out. We are on YouTube here every day through the week, Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. And the show that we do that day goes up at 8 o'clock in the evening on Spotify and podcast forms. You can listen if you just like to listen. Mike, are you ready? Are you ready for some Saints trivia?
I am ready for some Saints trivia.
This one here, I think, is a no-brainer. I think you're going to get it. I think you're going to nail it. I think you're going to start dancing before I even answer the question. And you're going to probably dance the whole way through the music. Ooh. The shrimp burger in Japan is just like McRib in the States seasonal. Shrimp burger.
What?
Mike, I'm about to go to Japan.
Me too.
He's going to wake up and he's going to come home and we're going to be sleeping on his furniture
on his couch.
like the CFO from Tyson. But yes, I do believe you're going to do very well. and P, I throw this out there for you too. I think you guys are going to get it. No brainer. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. Pencils down, everybody. Grab your pencils, everybody. Here we go. For the trivia of the day in today's How Well Do You Know Your Enemy is the Saints trivia, of course. Here goes the question. Who holds the team record for passing yards?
Oh.
Who holds the team record for passing yards? And go.
Do 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 do.
It's trying. There it is.
There we go.
Some might say R.G. Manning. Some might say Bobby Hebert.
Who the fuck? Who's Bobby Hebert?
When I was growing up, they had a quarterback, and his name was spelled exactly the same way as Justin Herbert. And I used to actually fight with my friend, a good buddy of mine. We grew up together. We were kids. We were into football. And Bobby Hebert. Bobby Hebert was the quarterback for the Saints back then, and I used to call him Bobby Herbert. I used to say, "Give me your Bobby Herbert card."
Yeah.
And I remember him yelling at me. He said, "It's Bobby Hebert." And I was like, "It's Bobby Herbert." And I'm pointing at it, spelling it out. And it ended up being Bobby Hebert.
But there's an H in it. You should pronounce the H.
Absolutely. I think he might have been something Canadian. I don't know. But okay. Yeah, so P gave his answer. You see his answer on the screen there. Don't yell yours out just yet, Mike. Let me read the question one more time. Who holds the team record for passing yards for the New Orleans Saints? P. Morton says Drew Brees. Mike, who do you say?
I say Drew Brees.
Drew Brees, not Archie Manning, not Bobby Hebert, not the Red Rocket Andy Dalton.
Definitely not Andy Dalton.
Okay. Drew Brees. Is that your guys' final answer?
Final answer.
Let me go ahead and lock you into place.
Lock it in.
There it is. I'll do P a double lock. Gotcha. Louisiana does have a French problem. That could have been what Hebert was all about. A very good point. Where the hell were you 30 years ago, Pete?
They have a French. Did he say problem?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go, guys. The question of the day is, who holds the New Orleans Saints team record for passing yards? And, of course, the answer is
Drew Brees.
And that is correct. Man, you were 3-0 this week. You are a Saints expert.
Hey, man. What can I say? I'm all about the Nolans.
Yeah, man. But there you have it, everybody. P, of course, you're correct as well. You know that. Great job. Tomorrow we will do it again.
Yes.
Tomorrow we got emails. Tomorrow we getting toward the end of the week. We're going to start talking football for the weekend, college, high school, pros, Penguins, all kind of stuff tomorrow. So be sure to tune in. We want to thank everybody for tuning in today. We want to thank P for writing in as always, of course. And for Mike, the two Dum Yinzers, Ryan, we'll see you tomorrow.